Hello, welcome to the Discover Your Assets webinar. It feels so good to be your host again today. You know, this is the best time to be alive. You know why? Because there are so many opportunities we can leverage upon. But guess what? Opportunities without the ability to selling those concepts becomes wasted. Today, we'll be talking about essential selling skills during a pandemic. And I've got a very important guest today, someone I respect so much. It's a great guy, and of course, he has mentored a lot of very successful entrepreneurs. He's someone I'm so privileged to call a friend. And of course, very shortly, I'll be introducing him. So I want to encourage you to pick your pen and paper to jot along. Now, let me ask you, are you an entrepreneur? Are you an aspiring entrepreneur? Have you got a product, services, or vision you wish to sell? Trust me, this edition is specially designed for you. So I want to encourage you, let's finish this week's webinar together, and it promises to be so wonderful. Welcome again to the Discover Your Assets webinar, powered by Lifestyle Hub. All right, like I said earlier, the core of our conversation today will be on essential selling skills during a pandemic. And I'm so delighted because it promises to be a very tight, very intense conversation today. Our special guest at today's Discover Your Assets webinar is someone that has been a great mentor to a lot of very successful entrepreneurs, business owners, and of course is an executive business coach, and will be tapping from the wealth of his knowledge today. Trust me, it wasn't so easy to have Mr. Ebuka Anichebe on set today, and for me, I'm so delighted that he could create time from how busy his schedule has been recently. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcoming Mr. Ebuka Anichebe.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so very much for being our special guest at today's Discover Your Assets webinar. One of the greatest assets any entrepreneur can possess is the ability to sell.
That's right.
Research has shown that more than 85% of businesses die before their second year anniversary.
That's right.
And lack of ability to sell is one of those challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know you are an expert when it comes to teaching people on how to sell anything good.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, I know there are a lot of selling skills out there, but I want us to narrow down to the essentials. Essential skills, because a lot of businesses right now are bleeding globally.
That's right.
Okay, and they are looking for ways to reinventing and creating a unique selling processes, or a unique selling process that will help them expand the frontier of their bottom line. So, Mr. Ebuka, what have you got for us today when it comes to essential selling skills, especially during a pandemic?
Well, first of all, let's put it like this way. It's a mindset. Selling is a mindset.
Yes, it is.
If you think that people are not buying, then you're not going to be as gingered, let's use that word, gingered or motivated to go out there to sell. That's simple. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, are you convinced that what it is you're selling is in demand? It's easy to sell food to a hungry market. So you first of all need to be thinking of what are people hungry for, so you can sell it. And when you present, in fact, there's little selling when they're hungry. There's very little selling to do when people are hungry. If people decide that a particular drink is the cure for COVID-19, you're not going to struggle to sell it. True. They will come and buy it.
Very true.
So find out where your market is. So the first thing is understanding your market.
Fantastic.
Understanding your market. Realize that people have changed, or they have been able to say, you know what, people are not buying fashionable things, they're not buying clothes anymore, they're not buying designer shoes. Yes, of course, they won't buy that because everybody's stuck in their house. You don't buy designer shoes to sit at home and go nowhere. So nobody's buying that, nobody's buying cars. But what are they buying? Businesses should not be afraid to pivot at this present moment, to look and say, hey, you know what, we've been doing this before, but we can also do this. So there are companies that have stopped production of clothes and started doing masks. There are people that have stopped production of alcohol and started doing hand sanitizers. That's you pivoting into a different, or reorienting yourself. I know hotels, even in Abuja, that they're not open, but they've been able to sell their facility to the federal government to use as a makeshift hospital to take care of people that have coronavirus.
Yeah.
So that way they're still making money while their other colleagues are closed.
Yeah.
I know some other hotels that have decided, look, you know what, we'll close down the hotel, but we keep the restaurants open and we're going to be doing deliveries to people's houses. That way our clients can still call us and still get the same food. So that way they're not losing totally. So business owners must understand, first of all, like, people are still spending money. Maybe they're not spending on what you used to sell. So what's the next thing you should do? You should look at where they're spending money now. And this is the key thing. Where are people spending money? And then you go there and find either you have the competencies in-house to provide that service or product, or you partner with someone that already has it and realize that you already have your clientele. So sell to your clientele what somebody else has the competencies to deliver, since you have their trust. So that's the first key thing. Understanding what the market is buying.
So, Mr. Ebuka, in addition to what you've just said,
let's
go straight to some of those very essential skills that an average entrepreneur has got to possess, especially when it comes to selling their products.
A lot of people are, they are shuttered behind their doors, whether it's in their office or in their homes. They don't want to have visitors. Like, I've been having a running debates, let me call it a spirited debate with my wife, and since schools are closed, I said, look, let's get the lesson teacher to come teach the kids at home. And she says, no, where do you know where they're coming from and all of that? So she's genuinely has concerns about that safety. And I can understand that many salespeople will be having those kind of concerns when they try to walk into someone's office. No, why should you come to the office? Can't you tell me on the phone? So you need to, number one, start learning how to communicate effectively over the phone. So your digital communication skills has to be up there. You need to be able, don't say, oh, I'm camera shy. When I say, no, you can't be camera shy now. People need FaceTime.
True.
And you have to be able to chat people up on the phone and say, hey, can we talk for 5 minutes? I can FaceTime you. Why? Because it's a different thing if you are looking at somebody's face as opposed to if you're just chatting with them. So chatting is one level, a phone call is another level, a FaceTime is a different level. You want to be able to grow to that FaceTime where you can call your clients and they can see the whites in your eye and talk to you. So communication skills is number one. You need to start learning how to become more assertive as a good communicator so that people are attracted to you. Second skill you need to learn is how
Sorry,
to...
Mr. Ebuka, sorry for cutting in, because I really want our guests today to really get massive value, and I want to squeeze you as much as possible. So please don't run away from communication skills.
All right.
There are different kind of people out there watching us right now.
Okay.
And they all have different personality, weakness, strengths, and everything.
Yeah.
Now, someone that's on the average is not very good. You use a phrase, digital communication, not just communication, but digital communication.
Yeah.
But there are some people out there, they are so introverted. They cannot even do a video recording to explaining their product.
Yeah.
So how best can people leverage on that aspect of digital communication that aligns to their area of strength?
I'm happy you asked this question because sometimes you have a competency and you assume that everybody has the same competencies like you do. So I'm happy you asked this question. Now, not everybody has the same confidence looking at the camera and be able to talk to the camera. That's why not everybody's an actor, right? So some other people, if you're an introvert and you're really introverted and you don't like the camera, maybe you're good at writing. And the ability to tell stories in written form, in prose form, is a powerful skill. I mean, like, one of the most powerful skills is actually being able to just write a newsletter or a sales copy and being able to convert based on just that sales copy. Then maybe you need to go learn how to do sales copy. And it's available. Like, you can go online and Google this and you'll be able to get how to be able to become a decent copywriter. And copywriting is basically what we call faceless selling. So you don't even have to show your face. It's something that you write down, people read it, and they say, wow, this is... Have you ever read something on Facebook and you say, oh, I would like to buy this product, because of the way it's written. So you need to learn how to do that. People need to learn. This is an essential skill. It's like when in your CV back in the 90s, everybody had to have, oh, I'm good at Microsoft Suite, Microsoft Word, and all of that. Now, digital marketing, digital selling is one of those skills you just have to have in this era.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Anichebe. To summarize this first point of communication, for you, in line with what Mr. Ebuka just said, okay, for you to expand the frontier of your sales processes, you've got to intellectualize your business, okay? Whereby you've got to write about your product, okay? Send it out, like I said, through a newsletter system, okay? And there are a lot of email marketing providers out there. So I would like you to also Google, in addition to what Mr. Nichebe had advised, just Google email marketing companies and subscribe to them. And if you don't want to face the camera to talk about your product, then you should be able to write. You should be able to write about the advantages and and the values in your product and services, and why people should really buy from you, Mr. Buka.
Yeah.
The second point.
The second point I think is very essential to anybody right now will be your ability to, as a marketer, know where your market is. Know where the market is, because if you think about it, not every people from different generations use different media platforms.
Yeah.
They use different media platforms. So the really young people, we call them the millennials, right? Or Generation Z.
Yeah.
Generation Z is the youngest right now. So Generation Z, they are much more on TikTok. They're much more on Snapchat, right? A few of them are on Instagram. But then you have the millennials. Most of them are on Instagram, and few of them on Facebook. Then you have the Generation X. All of them are actively on Facebook, right? And then they also use another form of social media for them is the WhatsApp stories. So find out where your market is hanging out, what media platforms they're hanging out on, and go there. Big shift in my business was realizing that my market wasn't coming from Facebook. It wasn't coming from Instagram.
Wow.
It was coming from my WhatsApp stories.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I started asking myself, why have I been ignoring this?
Wow.
And I realized that the people on my WhatsApp are people, number one, they have a one-on-one relationship with me. Because you can't see my story. If you have my number, but I don't have your number, you can't see my stories.
Very true.
So it has to be a two-way thing. And that's like kind of a sense that, okay, we have a relationship. Now, the moment you start seeing my stories and you chat me up, oh, what's this about? I know you're paying attention to whatever it is I'm saying. So I can sell to you indirectly. So this is indirect selling. And when you're doing this, realize that people are not coming to be sold to. So resist the urge to only advertise. Because I see a lot of marketers or salesmen, every day they just put back the same thing they did the previous day and put back there. People get tuned off.
Very true.
So human beings don't want to be sold to, but they do want to buy. And get this, they don't want to sell to, but they do want to buy. So what you do is you entertain them first. You entertain them, distract them from the fact that you're selling anything. Show them something. So 3 things I do when I'm just going to tell you what I do. I educate people. If I educate you in the morning by giving you different news reports at my own angle on those news reports, the next thing I do is I will entertain you. I'll give you some nice comedy. You know, Nigeria has plenty of flicks.
Yeah,
I'll tease you with that and you will laugh. And then the last thing I will do is I will then sell. I will introduce something.
Fantastic.
Right?
Fantastic.
But don't just go putting only comedy, because now you look like a joker, right? Be able to blend. Now you look human. And that's the first thing people want to understand is that you're human first. So show your emotions first.
Fantastic.
Show that you can connect to them. Show empathy before you show competence. This is key. Show empathy before you show competence.
Powerful.
Because if you can show empathy, that's where you get the connection from. And then your competence keeps the clients coming back for more and referring you, having the confidence to refer you to their friends and say, oh, that person is really good at this. But you won't, if you just show competence first, there are many competent people out there.
Absolutely.
But can I trust you? That's like, if you're looking for a mechanic, for example, for your car, you can see a lot of mechanics in when you go down to Apple Mechanic Drive. You see mechanic, and they write all kinds of billboards. Yeah. But you're looking for the one that you can trust. So when you find somebody that you can actually connect to you, maybe he speaks your language. Maybe maybe your child is there and he talks to your child and in a certain way, you say, I like this guy. So people would do business with you if they like you first, right? So that's first thing they want to see is they like you. So develop that likeness. And being likable can be learned. I need our viewers to learn this.
Wow.
Being likable can be learned. If you knew me 15 years ago, you won't like me. I was an introvert. People would say I was stuck up, right? But it was my kind of shield, my mask, and I'll pretend not to care about talking to people. But I was really introverted. I was very conscious. I was a pimply kid. I was just thinking, no, people are going to be counting how many pimples on my forehead. And I was that was my shield. And I realized my bank account wasn't happy with me. It was frowning. I was always behind. I was always in debt. I was always owing. And I said, no, I didn't want to be like this. So I started modeling people that I wanted to be like, right? And that's the key thing. You need to model people. And when you say modeling people, they don't have to be your mentor. They don't have to be in the same room with you. Absolutely. You basically just watch them and do what they're doing, right? If it fits you say, oh, I can do that, then do it. Don't just internalize this. You actually have to experiment and say, look, I can do this. So you do it. So I started looking at people that were successful and I said, well, I can do this. Right? And I started tweaking my own personality and making those small shifts. Yeah. And you realize it's the minor things. It's the minor things that actually gets you there. And before you know it becomes a part of you. It's just a natural habit. You do it without thinking. So sometimes people meet me and I say, oh, okay, I know you have a unique personality. I said, no, I tweaked the personality. I know that even my mom knows that I've improved. So your mom has to be able to see the shift.
Fantastic.
If your mom can't see the shift in you, then you're not really growing.
That's true.
Your mom knows you. She knows how you were before. She knows what kind of child you were.
Yeah.
But now she sees you and you say, look, you're part of an organization that is focused on wealth building and knowledge creation and all of that. Look, your mom has to see that you're not the same person that she gave birth to. Wow. You evolved. Wow. You've changed. So become an evolutionary. That's what you should become with COVID-19. Choose to evolve. Choose to keep learning. Don't be the same person you were last year. There should be something new about you now, right? So that people, you just keep growing. People come to you, you realize you're a person of growth, you're a person of influence, you're a person of value. So grow that value. That's key. That's the marketing secret.
Fantastic.
I would rather buy from you than buy from somebody else that has no personality.
Wow.
I'll buy from you because I believe, okay, if I buy from this guy, maybe down the line you'll be able to do me a favor, introduce somebody. So show that you have that personality. Show that you're open. I'm not looking for just the money in your pockets. I want the relationship with you. I want the relationship with you.
Fantastic.
So go beyond and above just asking, okay, when do you want to buy? No, ask him how he's coping. Ask him how he's coping with the kids.
That's where the empathy you made.
That's where the empathy comes in. So when you show that and you can share your own mistakes and your own lessons, then people connect with that. So fantastic. Don't be afraid to do that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've said so much, and I've been really jotting myself, and I hope you're jotting along too. Before we move to the third point, okay, as we wrap up this session with Mr. Ebuka gradually, he said some things, and I just want to echo them. You need to find what works for you when it comes to digital selling. For him, WhatsApp status did the magic, okay, and it was basically more of relationship-based selling. And he said something. He said, he entertains, he educates, and ultimately, he sells. What do you do with your status? So that means that any day you wake up and you don't post anything on your status, you are like someone that has spent so much money to renting a physical shop somewhere and you refuse to open that shop for that day. You are not in business, okay? And he said empathy before what? Competence. Okay, trust-based selling. People want to buy first from people they can trust. So can you be trusted? Can you be trusted? And he said you can learn how to change your personality by modeling the right people. And of course, be growth-oriented. Before we drift into the next point, I need us to flog that aspect of messaging. Because, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we are like a messenger, or we are like messengers. We've got a story to tell.
That's true.
We've got something to share with people, something we want them to buy into, to key into.
That's true.
So I need us to really flog, because I noticed something about most entrepreneurs and why they fail is because they don't really represent their message properly.
That's very true. And I agree with that. Look, you have a mission. Your business should be a mission. The mission is not just to make money. The mission is to fulfill whatever need or solution, provide that solution to your market. So how many people are you sharing your mission with? That's the key thing. How many people are you sharing your mission with? Now, maybe your mission is not so exciting, so you're shy to share it. Maybe you're still selling water, right? You're shy to say, water is just, everybody still drinks water, so what am I going to do? Look, you don't have to create all your content. I want you to get this. You don't have to create all of your content. Sometimes you have to curate from other people.
Wow.
And once you make this shift. Now, for me, I'm both a content creator, But I also realize that there's a limit. People can get bored or tuned off by just hearing from me all the time, right? So I don't only share my own content on my platform. I share content from every other person I believe, every teacher, every musician, every comedian. I blend them and I try to do a balance between my content and their content. So maybe I will do 30% of my content and then 70% of other people's content.
Leverage.
And I leverage on that.
Leveraging on other people's intellect.
On other people's intellect. But this is what happens. If you do a good job of it, you train your audience to start to rely on you for good content. Now, so I have people come to me now and say, Ibuka, I don't go to bed without watching your stories. I don't go to bed. I must watch your story. Oh, me and my wife, we always watch this cartoon that you do. And so I've trained different audiences for different things. And they want to see me show up. They're looking forward to that. I've trained them to look forward to that. Anybody can do this. Right? In 21 days, you develop a habit. So become consistent and let your friends know that every day you're putting up different stories. It doesn't have to be a long story, but if you find it interesting, you think it's going to be interesting to your audience, throw it in there. Fantastic. Throw it in there alongside with your message. Right? So that it becomes like a sandwich, right? And they just swallow it easily. They may not need it, but down the line, you want to become the top of mind when it comes to recall. They say, oh, do you know someone that does this? Quickly, it's your name that they recall because you've been training them for such a long time. Wow. So that's the key thing. If you can't be a creator because you're not creative enough, by all means be a curator because you definitely are consuming content, and if you're consuming it, you can share with other people.
Absolutely. And it takes some level of creativity to curate too.
To curate, exactly. So you can't just...
It takes a smart man to identify another smart person.
So so that's even... Let me give an example. There's someone that's really popular on social media, right? Tunde, what's his name? Tunde Ednot, I think, yeah? All he does, he is showing other people's content.
Absolutely.
But he has hundreds of thousands of followers by showing other people's content. So your job is to decide that, you know what, on my content, on my platform, I'm going to only show content that is uplifting. Some people specialize in bad news. And they tell you, oh, coronavirus numbers for Nigeria is 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, and they keep counting, like as if someone is paying them. Some people refuse to talk about it, and they focus only on the uplifting side of coronavirus. People that get married on using, Zoom to get married, and all those kind of other stories. And so you train people to look at you and say, look, I want to feel good. Let me just go and watch Abioye's story because every time I'm there, I feel good about what he's talking about. So teach your people how to feel.
Wow. In addition to the summary I gave earlier, for us to build massive fortune for ourselves, especially in selling our products, we've got to be carrier of knowledge because you require a high level of knowledge to build the right content.
That's right.
Okay, so I want to encourage every one of you, please read 5 good books about your industry today and start doing a summary of each of the chapters and post it. And you say inspired by the author. So that gives your post some level of credibility. Mr. Ibuka, the sad news is that time flies. But the good news is that we are the pilot. So let's fly this conversation to a great destination. So I need you to wrap up with other valuable essential skills you think our viewers today will learn so much from.
I realized something, like your company, I've seen it grow. Now you're 2 years old. I've seen your company grow. I know how many vision partners you have. You're growing. You realize you can't do it yourself. True. So you got other vision partners. No matter how small you are as a business person, realize that you need other vision partners. Realize that you need what we call messengers to spread the good news to other people. If you understand that, look, anybody can be your messenger because some people are genuinely sitting at home, they've lost their job or they've been suspended temporarily. Maybe they're working on an airline before, no airline is flying. They're sitting at home, but they still have the relationships with all their clients from their 5 years, 10 years working experience. What are they doing with those relationships? Nothing. So your job is to send them a message that is, look, I know you have clientele, I'm selling XYZ, and your clients may need this. Should you be willing to partner with me? I'm willing to give X commission. Simple as that. I'm willing to give X commission. And now you get other people. And all you have to do is rent me your WhatsApp stories. rent me your Instagram stories, rent me your Facebook page.
I like that.
That's his rent. Call it rent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I will be willing to give you a small token. That's
sorry, Ebuka, sorry. I wish we can just close this edition to the right now, because I just got the reason why I'm here today. Now, all I need to now do is to come up with a list of 50 smart influencers on my phone contact.
Yes.
And I send them a message, you know what,
Yeah.
can I rent your status for
That's
4 hours today?
Yes.
Just post this. If anybody reacts, this is what I will give you. Fantastic.
Simple as that.
Fantastic.
So
Please go ahead.
that's all. So once you do that, and I mean, I've done this over and over again, and I realize it works. So your hardest thing is waking up in the morning and deciding to yourself, let me curate a list on my WhatsApp, a broadcast list of the people that I know that may desire this particular product. Because I sell a lot of products, right? So every time I'm doing this, I have to come up with a new list of people that are in that particular industry I'm trying to penetrate. So, for example, let's say I'm selling N95 masks. Then I have to look for all the nurses, all the doctors within that space and say, hey, you know what, I'm selling this mask. Should you also be interested? I'm willing to give you a 10% commission for whatever order.
Fantastic.
So before you know, doctors are calling me and said, oh, I know this person, this hospital. They are my messengers. They don't need to know what I'm doing. They just know that whatever is the general order, they're getting 10% of that. So that's how you get messengers to believe in your message and take that message to the markets, because already what you're leveraging on is trust. Trust is the first currency in business. Long before anybody decides to bring out their wallets, they chose to trust you. They chose to trust you. And what are you doing with that trust? Now,
people don't buy from people they like.
Yes.
They buy from people they trust.
They trust.
Fantastic. Please go ahead.
That's how it works. So people don't, I might like you. I like you, but if I'm going to go for a heart surgery, it's not you.
I will just break your heart.
Exactly, you break my heart, right? So if I'm going to buy a house, I'll buy from you, but definitely not for surgeries. I'm not going to even ask you, do you know any good heart surgeon? Because you have no business there.
Absolutely.
So, but if I'm asking for where to invest, where should I invest? Should I buy a house? Then it's you I'm going to be talking to. So how do you develop that trust? Becomes the question, especially with strangers, especially when you're doing faceless selling. You want to develop that trust by being able to leverage on other people's relationships. So in business, we call this having dyadic relationships. A dyadic relationship is a relationship that you don't have with the clients, but Ebuka does have. So you leverage on Ebuka's relationship with the clients and the trust I already have established to do business with our clients.
Fantastic.
And once we can learn to do this over and over, we start generating so much wealth. It's not just for you now, it's wealth for everybody around you. Everybody around you becomes a winner simply because they are associated with something that you're selling.
True.
So please, by all means, if you're listening and you need to be paying attention to this, realize that if you're broke, if your finances are out of whack, it's likely because you aren't selling something that is required now. All you have to do is pivot a little. Shifts just by 2 centimeters. Look at somebody else that is doing well and ask them, can I represent your company? That's all you have to do. Represent the right company and your accounts will take care of itself.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Nichebe. You know, you've said some very profound things today. You know, he said, get yourself messengers. Okay, sometimes we call them freelance marketing experts.
Yeah.
Okay. You create businesses for people out of your own businesses. So what that simply means is that try and promote the concept of profit as against the concept of wages. Like Jim Rohn rightly taught us, profits are better than wages.
That's true.
Okay. So before I get you to do a quick summary in 2 minutes as we wrap up this session with Mr. Ebuka today, there is something very striking I would like you to clarify. You know, most people typically feel that how best do I create the right percentages for people that sell for me?
Right. Okay. So for me, the percentage is based on the profits, right? If I'm selling something for 1,000 naira, let's use simple figures. I'm selling something for 1,000 naira, but I know I have a margin of 500 naira as profit. Then I'm willing to tell you, selling for me for 1,000 naira, that look, you have 10% commission. Now that reduces my profits from 500 naira to 400 naira, but I can still live with that, right? So I tell you that I calculate whatever you're getting from the profits I'm making. Is that really that simple? So how much am I willing to give up of my profits?
Okay.
So I don't care about like what, if you decide to do a markup, that's fine. But it still stands,
Okay.
right? So that way I get people incentivized to sell.
Fantastic.
From the get-go, you know that if you sell 5 units of this is how much you're getting.
Yeah.
People like to plan in that way. So I plan based on what my margin, my profit margin is, not what the cost of the entire thing is.
Very good. You know why I asked this question? I asked this question because most entrepreneurs out there don't understand the power of volume and the power of numbers. They want to have 100% of everything.
Of everything.
Like one of my mentors rightly taught me, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own personal effort. So, by way of summary with what Mr. Anichebe has said so far, for you to sell that product and services of yours, you've got to collaborate. Okay, you've got to expand the frontier of your knowledge base. You've got to read. You've got to position yourself. And most importantly, when it comes to your social media walls, your Facebook, your Twitter, your IG, your LinkedIn, there must be a trend. There must be a trend that when people go to 2 years ago on your wall, they can see consistency in what you stand for.
That's right.
There are a lot of people, before they buy from you, they want to do a background check. They want to see what you've been involved in. So I want to encourage you from today, ensure that what you post online represents what you actually stand for. You know, like I always say, your time is your life. One spent can never be regained. And I need you to have great value for the time you've invested with us today. So, and I'm going to need Mr. Ebuka to give us a high-level, quick, in about 2 minutes summary of all he has said in his very short takeaway that you can reflect upon tonight and use it to expand the frontier of your sales process. Let me say this to you. Poor people are poor because they don't like to sell. Rich people are so rich because they love to sell. And you can never create wealth if you cannot sell. And today, I need you to proudly say to people, I'm a salesperson, because you've got a value, you've got vision to sell to people for them to buy into. So, Mr. Anichebe, yes. I will need you to do me the biggest favor today.
Okay.
Please, all you've said, you've spoken so wisely. You know, sometimes we take ourselves for granted. You know, my friend is so wise. You know, I'm so proud of his friend. Okay. So, I need you to please put all this in just a simple framework.
Okay.
A simple framework that all our audience today can really relate with and of course be able to reflect upon and implement immediately.
All right, excellent. So, dear viewers, how many fingers do you have? I'm hoping you have 5, right? Nothing has happened to any of your fingers. But if you have 5 fingers, this is what you need to remember. The first is your mindset. Realize that it's not so much a concern about, oh, I can't sell. No, it's I won't sell. I won't sell. And when you say I won't sell, it's usually a mindset thing. It's a mindset that tells you that calling somebody to tell them, oh, look, I have an opportunity for you, you're disturbing them. And once you can disabuse your mind from thinking that you're disturbing anybody when you're presenting them an opportunity that you genuinely think is right for them, then you're no longer disturbing them. You're offering them, you're actually doing them a huge favor by bringing it to their concern. And this starts from the belief that what you're looking for is looking for you. Once you can have that as a belief, as a salesperson, that what I'm looking for is looking for me, you can pick up the phone and call anybody and realize that sometimes they might just say, wow, I wish you told me this thing a long time ago, I would have stopped suffering. So work on your mindset, right? And realize people want to hear from you. Second thing is understand your markets. Understand the psychographics of your markets, understand the demographics of your markets. Where are they? Where do they hang out? Where do they use Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp or Snapchat, or what are they using? What are they using? Know your demographics like the back of your hand. Second thing, please realize that you need to learn how to tell stories. Whether it's verbal stories or written down stories, but you do need to learn how to tell stories. And you can learn this. Don't say, oh, this person is such a brilliant storyteller. No, they likely learned it. Nobody started talking when they came out from their mother's womb. They learned it is a skill, not a talent. So a skill can be learned. A talent is given by God. Realize that copywriting, digital marketing, these are skills. You can learn it if you have interest in it. Number 3, is your understanding of the different platforms that are available. This is not the time to say, I don't like to use social media. No, everybody is using their phone now. People are not allowing people to come into their house. Like, nobody's going around. You won't see anybody just opening their doors to say, salesman, come and pitch me. No. People scared that coronavirus is under your shoe. So realize that, and realize that now it's time to learn the different platforms and know how to leverage each of them, because they don't all speak the same language.
True.
You don't use the same language you use on Instagram, on LinkedIn. People will just ignore you, right? So learn the different languages that are applicable for different platforms. And then finally, learn to recruit vision partners or messengers that can take your message, your mission to the next level, because your messengers already have pre-existing relationships with clients that you're trying to reach out to. You can't start now to start digging those wells. They've already dug those wells. Your job is to go there and say, please, can I tap small water from, and we will share. That's all it is. That's all it is. So show them why helping you is also helping them, and the rest is simple. So first thing, your mindset. Second thing, your market. Third thing is you understanding what media platforms, message you should be giving them, and the messengers that should take it to the market. Once you can do all 5 of this, surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so very much, Mr. Anichebe. You know, you said something. You said, what you are looking for is looking for you. That is the magic of believing.
Yeah.
Because what we believe in expands.
That's true.
Okay? And it will interest every one of our guests watching us right now. The money you are looking for is in the hands of people you've not even met. And these people, you don't even need to meet them directly. You can meet them through those messengers that Mr. Anichebe spoke about. You know, so for me, I'm so delighted, and I hope you've been able to drive some value. And that is what we intend to do to you every week going forward at the Discover Your Assets webinar powered by Lifestyle Up. We're a knowledge and wealth creation company. For us, we believe that knowledge must precede wealth. And that's why today we felt we should share some deep knowledge with you when it comes to selling. Okay, things you will not ordinarily quickly read in those books, but these are practical examples that Mr. Anichebe has experienced in his over a decade plus in the industry. So I'm so delighted that you're able to watch us today. And guess what? Mr. Anichebe just taught us how to sell. I've got a vision to sell to you today. Okay, it's a unique vision that can transform the frontier of your asset base. Okay, through the unique selling skills that Mr. Anichebe just shared with you right now. Okay, I've gotten a unique platform that can also help you implement exactly the way he has taught us. That can help you own multiple luxury apartments in different parts of Africa, in different parts of Nigeria, in different parts of Ghana, in Joburg, in Lusaka. It simply helps you to diversify your portfolio. Okay, so in the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the Lifestyle Up model that simply helps you to becoming a major player when it comes to real estate investment. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Anichebe. I can't just thank you enough for investing your time with us today.
Thank you.
I hope when we call on you again, you will answer us.
Anytime.
Fantastic.
Anytime.
Fantastic.
Thank
you know, some people have really connected to what you've said today. If they want to connect with you on Instagram, can we know your Instagram handle, please?
Yes, Ask Ebuka. Ask Ebuka on Instagram, Ask Ebuka on WhatsApp, Ask Ebuka. If you go on Facebook, you look for Ask Ebuka as a hashtag, you'll find me. Go on Instagram, YouTube, go on LinkedIn, Twitter, Ask Ebuka is the hashtag. So
very good.
Look out for that.
And of course, he initiated the Okoros.
Yes, so there's Meet the Okoros, which is the cartoon.
Meet the Okoros, yes.
Meet the Okoros, yeah. So that's a cartoon that we talk about life issues in a very casual, laid-back manner, but it's really serious. So look for it. Hashtag Meet the Okoros.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ebuka.
Thank you, sir.
See you some other time.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. So I've got a unique vision I would like to show you very shortly. A vision you can sell to your friends that will also help every one of you build yourself generational wealth. Now at Lifestyle Up, we have 2 core programs. One is an extra luxury program that helps you own a tastefully finished 4-bedroom terrace duplexes, okay, in different parts of Africa. Then of course we have what we call the solid refuge program that helps you own luxury 3-bedroom flat apartment with a maze room and of course with a rooftop garden and swimming pool on the top floor. Now, let me start with the extra luxury program. It's very unique. You will love the architectural masterpiece of our duplex. It's a 4-bedroom duplex, it's a 2-floor terrace duplex, and of course, each unit has got a private swimming pool on the top floor. Check this out. Fantastic. Now, let me ask you, did you like what you just saw? If you did, if you love it, there are different ways for you to acquire them. Now, today, I'm going to use the dollar currency. Then, of course, if you are watching me from Ghana, you can easily convert it to the Ghanaian cedis. If you are watching me from Nigeria, you can convert it to the Nigerian naira, or from Joburg, from South Africa, you can turn it to rand, and different parts of the world you are watching us from today. And of course, thank God for technology. We are going to do an auto conversion to naira and to cedis for the purpose of today's presentation. Now, we have a package called the Big League package. These are people that just want to leverage on their capital, okay, but to getting more value. Now, with 137,000 US dollars, you can own one of our apartments worth over 300,000 US dollars. So the way it works is that you will subscribe with the sum of 137,000 US dollars. In exactly 8 months, we have your keys delivered to you. And we have a contract signed with you, and that contract is protected by a 20% performance bond. What that simply means is that you pay your $137,000 today. That same day, we are going to give you a posted check of $164,000. That is 164,000 US dollars as a check. And that serves as a security. And of course, in exactly 8 months, when we deliver the apartment to you, you have 7 days to accept or to reject the apartment. If within 7 days, you are so happy with the quality of what we have done, then of course, you return the check back to us. If you are not happy with the quality, our contract with you says that go and present that check of 164,000 US dollars in the bank 45 working days after that very day. And I really want to encourage every one of you watching me right now. I would like you to please visit our construction site to see the quality and the depth of what we are doing on site. Your friends that invited you to this webinar, of course, will provide you details on how you can have access to our construction site. That is the Big League package. Thank you. You know, like I was sharing with Ebuka earlier, leverage is very key. Now, the person that went for one of our terrace duplex apartment with 137,000 US dollars simply leverage his fund, but to get more value. Okay. Now, I've gotten a unique system that can help you also leverage on your fund initially, but more on your social capital, because real money is your relationship. Real money is knowledge. Real money is the value you drive in the marketplace. Now, we have a package called the Elite VVIP package. Please note this down. Please note this down, okay? Write it down, Elite VVIP package, because I know this will interest you. Now, what somebody got with $137,000 US, you can own the same apartment with $38,000. With $38,000, you subscribe under the Elite VVIP package. You recommend 4 of your friends that subscribe with the same amount, and will pay you 5% commission on each of them, which is a total of $7,600. Okay, and of course, you qualify for your apartment. So it's just one level deep. That's why I say you love it. You will subscribe with the sum of $38,000. You recommend 4, and you qualify for your apartment. And of course, we have what we call the leadership bonus. By the time those 4 friends are able to qualify for their own apartment, no matter how long it takes them, we are going to give you a check of $30,000. So we are going to give you a check of $30,000 as leadership bonus. That is the Elite VVIP package. Thank you. Now, we have another package. See, there is something for everybody on our system. We have the VVIP package that also helps you to own the same 4-bedroom terrace duplex you saw earlier. Guess what? With $8,400 US. You will subscribe with the sum of $8,400 US. You recommend 4 of your contacts. How do you recommend those 4? By getting them to watching our next edition of Discover Your Assets webinar. By the time you recommend those 4 friends of yours, we'll pay you 5% commission on each of them, which will give you $1,680 in direct bonus. Then those 4 friends of yours will also recommend their 4 each. The day the 16th person signed up in your second generation, that very day, you qualify for your own 4-bedroom terrace duplex apartment. And guess what? We also pay you a leadership bonus of $8,400 US. Your capital is back to you in bulk, and guess what? You also qualify for an apartment using this unique leverage system we've created. Now, why have we created all this unique system? It's simply because we needed to do things differently if we must increase the chances of people owning an apartment when they are still very, very young, okay? And that's the beautiful thing about what we are doing at Lifestyle Asset Hub Limited. That was the VVIP package explained that allows you to own one of those apartments with $8,400 US. But guess what, everyone? We have the VIP package that helps you own the same apartment with $4,200 US. How does it work? 3 steps. You recommend 3 of your friends, and we'll pay you 10% commission on each of them, which will give you a total of $1,260. Now, your 3 friends will recommend their 3 each, making 9 in your second generation. The day the 9th man signed up, that very day will pay you a leadership bonus of $4,200 US. Your capital is back. Then finally, those 9 friends of yours also recommend their 3 each. So it's power of 3, the law of 3. Now, when those 9 guys recommend 3 each, that gives you 27 in your 3rd generation. That very day, you qualify for a fully finished 4-bedroom terrace duplex apartment. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the VIP package. Now, at Lifestyle, we are a very dynamic organization, and we try to create as many varieties as possible to all our stakeholders. Now, what I showed you earlier was a 4-bedroom terrace duplex apartment. We know that there are other categories of people that would love to live in a flat apartment, in a serviced apartment. Now, we've gotten what we call the Solid Refuge program that helps you to own a well-finished 3-bedroom flat apartment with a maid's room. And of course, on the top floor is where we have the garden and of course the swimming pool. Let me say this very quickly. If we must solve and reduce the housing deficit in Africa, It is very important that we build vertically. And at Lifestyle Up, we are taking the lead in promoting vertical living using a leverage system to owning those apartments through the Solid Refuge program. But before I explain how you can own one of those apartments, I would like you to see how it will look like by the time we are delivering your units to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out our Solid Refuge apartment by Lifestyle Up. Now, did you like what you just saw? If you did, now let me quickly show you how you can own it through these 4 options. Now, like the big league for the duplex, we have what we call the outright option for this, the 3-bedroom flat apartments, whereby with the sum of $90,000 US, you can own one of those units you just saw. You subscribe with $90,000, you recommend no one, in exactly 18 months. In exactly 18 months, your keys are delivered to you. And we have a contract signed from the very day one. And that contract is protected by a 20% performance bond. What that simply means that you pay the sum of $90,000 US, and of course we issue you a check of $108,000 US as a security. You owe the check. Because why are we doing this? Because we know at the point of you paying that $90,000, that is not your concern. Your concern is the end product we deliver to you, the quality of what we are delivering. And we are so sure of what we are doing at Lifestyle Up. And of course, once we deliver your keys to you 18 months after, you have 7 days to accept or reject. Once you accept it, you return our check back to us. If you reject it, our contract says that please go and present that check 45 working days after the very day you rejected it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the outright option to owning one of those Solid Refuge apartments. Thank you. Now, I'm about to excite someone very shortly. We have 3 other leverage packages like we had for the duplex, where I explained to you earlier the Elite VVIP, the VVIP, and the VIP. Now, for the Solid Refuge, the first package I would like to share with you is what we could name Avon 3.0. Okay, with the sum of $19,256, you can own one of those apartments through Avon 3.0. So you subscribe with the sum of $19,256. You recommend 4 of your friends, and we'll pay you 5% commission on each of them, which totals $4,200 US and guess what? You qualify for your apartment. And by the time those 4 friends of yours eventually qualify, then that makes you a leader and will pay you a leadership bonus of 15,000 US dollars. That is even 3.0. So let me quickly summarize for you. You subscribe with the sum of $19,256. You recommend 4 of your friends and you qualify. It's just one step deep. Thank you so very much. Now, we've got a second package that is leverage driven called Avon 2.0. You will subscribe with the sum of $4,621. You recommend 4 of your friends that made the same subscription and will pay you 5% on each of them, which will give you a total direct bonus of $924. Then those 4 friends of yours will also recommend their 4 each. Voila, you qualify for one of those solid refuge apartments. And of course, you also earn yourself a leadership bonus of $3,697 US dollars. That is Avon 2.0. Thank you. Then finally, we've got Avon 1.0, whereby you subscribe with the sum of $2,310 US dollars. You subscribe with the sum of $2,310. You recommend 3 of your friends and you earn 5% on each of them. And that will give you a total bonus of $346. And your 3 friends will recommend their own 3 each, making 9 in your second generation. Then you are entitled to a leadership bonus of $1,964. Okay? And those 9 friends will also recommend their 3 each, making 27. The day the 27th man signed up, you qualify for one of those solid refuge apartments. That is Avon 1.0. Thank you so very much. Now, the unique thing about what we do at Lifestyle Up is that we've created different strategy that can help you own those apartments as fast as possible. Now, we just introduced what we call the integrated point policy that simply helps you to also own those apartments mere by accumulating points as against completing a structured, like I explained, under the Elite VVIP, VVIP, VIP, or Avon 3.0, Avon 2.0, or Avon 1.0. Guess what? With Lifestyle Up, you can actually qualify for one of our apartments even when you've not completed any of those matrix systems. How does it work? By accumulating points. Now you want to ask me, so Abioye, how many points do I need to accumulate to own a duplex, a terrace duplex? You need to accumulate a total of 100 points. Then you say, okay, for those flats I saw earlier, how many points do I need to accumulate to own one of them? You simply need to accumulate 55 points. Now the question is, how do you accumulate those points? Very simple, straightforward. All the 6 leverage packages I just explained to you, just pick one of them that appeals to you the most. Subscribe. If it's Elite VVIP, subscribe with it. If it's VVIP, subscribe. If it's Avon 2.0, just subscribe. It's okay, just subscribe. Now, for every subscription you've made, if you subscribe with Elite VVIP, it will give you 20 points. So that push you faster, okay? If you subscribe with Avon 3.0, it gives you 11 points. If you subscribe with VVIP, it gives you 4.5 points. If you subscribe with Avon 2.0, it gives you 2.6 points. If you subscribe with VIP package, it gives you 2.6 points. And of course, if you subscribe with Avon 1.0, it gives you 1.4 points. Now, at your entrance, you've already accumulated some points for yourself already. Now, let's say, for example, you sign up with the VVIP package, which has given you 4.5 already. And you spoke to to some of your friends about Lifestyle Up. Okay, just the way I'm hoping you will invite some of your friends to watch our next week's edition at this very time. Okay, then they say, wow, I love this. This makes sense. But I would like to do the Elite VVIP. It's fine. Okay, it's okay, because by the time you've subscribed, you have access to all other packages. Now, that friends of yours will sign up under your elite VVIP package that the company will open for you automatically once you have somebody that is ready to sign up to that very package. And that will give you a whopping 20 points immediately. Okay? So, and you can keep signing up people based on their financial strength, and cumulatively, you can accumulate the points that you need to qualify for your apartment. So to learn more about this integrated point system, please contact the very person that shared this webinar link with you. And of course, they will provide you with more clarity and more guidance. And of course, our offices are open to welcoming you at any time. That is the unique integrated point system as introduced by Lifestyle Up. Thank you. Now, thank you so very much. Now, all the matrix system I just showed you to owning a unique apartment for yourself, I just explained, there are no time frames at all. So what that simply means that you are not under any time pressure. If you want to go for the duplex, once you qualify, your keys are delivered to you 90 days after you have qualified. If you are going for the flat, your keys are delivered to you 18 months after you have qualified, okay? Now, of course, as we grow as a company, the delivery time will also shorten. So what I just said, 90 days, 18 months, those are worst case scenario, because even when nobody has qualified at Lifestyle, there is construction going on a daily basis on all our locations. And of course, if you want to know about our locations, contact your friends. Now, if you are going for the duplex, either you qualify for it through the matrix system or you accumulate the points. If you can do this within 3 months, the company will give you a car worth 9 million naira. And of course, you can do that, the dollar equivalent of that, or the CD equivalent, or the rand equivalent of that, okay? And of course, if you are going for the flat, for example, no time frame, but if you are able to accumulate your point or you complete your matrix system through on or before 90 days, which is roughly 3 months, the company is going to give you a 30-gram gold bar, a 24 carats, like what I'm holding right now. What I have here is the purest of the purest. It's 24 karat gold coin. So we're going to give you 30 grams of a version of what I'm holding right now, if you're able to complete any of our solid refuge programs on or before 90 days or 3 months after you subscribe. And of course, it helps you to increase your assets base. 30 grams. We are very, very specific, because the unique thing about Lifestyle is that Lifestyle helps you to acquire as many assets as possible. That's why our name is incorporated as Lifestyle Asset Hub Limited. For us, real asset is real estate, and of course, physical gold. And overall, like Ebuka and I shared with you earlier, is knowledge. You cannot go wrong with these three. Thank you so very much. Wow, I'm so delighted that you are ending this webinar with us today. And for doing that, there is a special offer for you. I know if all I've said right now made so much sense to you, okay, and you are contemplating, okay, I've got to sign up, I need to sign up, you can quickly position yourself under the person that referred you, and that gives you a lot of advantages. In our system, you also enjoy the benefit of spillover. If you want to know what that means, contact the person that invited you. They will tell you the benefit of spillover on our system. What that means that even when you have not referred anybody yet, you could also get some support from the person that introduced you. Okay? So I really want to encourage you, position yourself, and guess what? We are giving you, okay, if this makes sense, activate yourself immediately and quickly secure your position. As you are trying to gather the money and think of, okay, which of my, how do I acquire the money I need, or how do I get the money I need to sign up, okay? Because I know as a business person, that is what you are thinking of right now. While you are thinking of that, I'm giving you a 14 days free access into our system. So that's that a 14 days access starting from today to quickly help you secure your spot, so that the person your friend will invite next week will not secure the spot you should have secured for yourself, okay? So please don't lose your position. Key in even without money right now. So I'm giving you free access for 14 days, okay? So to secure your seat or to secure your spot, just tell your friend, I need the 14 days free access into the system right now so that I can secure my position while I get my fund to subscribing within the next 14 days. And of course, please visit our website, lifestyleassetup.com. Lifestyleassetup.com, then of course, you can get yourself registered immediately. But most importantly, it is very key that you contact our vision partner that invited you today. By the time you also subscribe, guess what? You also co-own this unique vision with us, and we start referring to you as a vision partner. You know why? This is a partnership. We are doing this together. It's a unique wealth system, and the wealth is designed to revolve around us. One of the benefits I would like you to reflect upon is, how much am I making? Ask yourself, from the real estate industry globally, how much do I make annually from the value chain? With Lifestyle Up, you can build massive cash flow for yourself by also being part of our construction process. But for you to be part of that process, you've got to be a vision partner. Okay? The company will be more than happy to have you supply some key materials. You know why? Because you are a vision partner. So there are a lot of business waiting for you. In real estate itself, there are over 200 industries built into the real estate industry. And I need you to partake in this. And with Lifestyle Up is a unique franchise. But guess what? This franchise you're about to buy for yourself, it's absolutely generational. That is why I'm so excited that you are seeing this today. Thank you so very much. Wow. Thank you so very much for honoring our invitation to being part of this week's Discover Your Asset webinar. We started today's session by talking about essential selling skills that can help you leverage your way out of a pandemic situation. And I hope you got massive value from my friend Ebuka Nichebe. And of course, remember those tips that was shared with you. Knowledge without application equals frustration. But knowledge plus application equals greatness. And I need you to be greater than what you are today. Trust me, you can be greater. And that is what Lifestyle will help you to doing. So when you join us, know that this is also beyond real estate. It's a platform to acquiring more knowledge, because we are all students. We keep learning every day. Before I sleep any day, I ask myself, Abioye, what have you learned today? If I have not learned anything, I will not sleep, because for me, sleep is a reward for learning. So I want to encourage you to please reflect over all those essential selling skills. And of course, join us again next week. Guess what? We've gotten another very unique topic that can help you expand the frontier of your careers and business. And of course, I'll be having another very special seasoned guest that will be talking to us on business, lifestyle, and of course, how we can protect ourselves against the effect of inflation. Thank you so very much. My name is Abioye, and I'm the CEO of Lifestyle Asset Limited. See you again. God bless you.